Okay, well, hey, it's me again, Rebecca Gordon with Gordon Marketing here in beautiful Noblesville, Indiana. And I'm on my third set of most commonly asked questions with the Healthshare. Incidentally, I want your questions. Dissect this. Because, a lot of you've all asked me this. This is where I get my list. So keep sending them my way. And if I don't know them, heck, I can shoot another video. But this helps all of us. And that's one part of the training when you get certified is the compliance or the agent responsibility. And that is for us to, really dive into this and understand it, understand the nuances. I use the example of an onion. And you peel those layers back. So I get a lot smarter when you ask me questions. And then in return, I want to get those answers back out to all of you so that we all can represent it correctly and team it up with the right client. So where do I enroll my applications? Great question. So we have two ways. The enrollment is electronic only. Now, if you're on our website, gordonmarketing.com, you'll notice I have a paper application on there, and that is purely for training. It's just for you to look at the health questions. There's a lot of them. Frankly, it looks like an old-fashioned Fortis Assurant app to me. But I do a lot of traveling, and I was with an agency, and what they do, which has to go with my other question, what is my protection? How do we prove that the client knew what they were buying? I have several agents, and what they will do as of right now is they'll take the paper app, have the client signs it, then they enroll it. But they have a paper app because the very last page is the disclaimer where it says, I know that this is a Healthshare ministry. I know that it is not guaranteed issue. I know that only eligible needs will be met. It breaks it all down. It's kind of I like to call it my get out of jail card. So you would enroll it electronically. You can talk to a person over the phone and enroll it. That's fine. Once you get contracted, you will receive a unique URL link, and you'll open that up. You plug in your ID, your agent number, and a password, and that's the Altrua site. You can enroll all your applications, which is nice. And you can take the banking account information over the phone and plug in the routing number. What I suggest you do a dummy one, go through all the steps. It's a very simple, it's a very straightforward application. If you miss something, bright red letters pop up and you have to go back. Very easy. But I like to get my hands dirty and actually see each page. So do that. Make your name like dummy test so that the people at Altrua know that this is just a dummy. But that's what I like to do. I like to really get my hands dirty. Now, we've also partnered up with Linked Exchange. And Linked Exchange is a platform enrollment company. They are not an FMO that has an enrollment side that's going to compete with us. I won't say any names. They are strictly a technology company. And so their platform is the only one that I know of right now that actually will show a Healthshare ministry. So it will show all the ACA companies or company, depending on where you live, can pull that up for your client. And then there's a spot to pull up what the Healthshare would be. Now, on the software, it can't show them side by side. CMS won't let them do that. It's too confusing for the client thinking you're getting the same thing, but you can split screen. So you can pull up, here's Blue Cross of Iowa price to date, and then good chance you're gonna qualify for a Healthshare. Here's what Healthshare is, and here's the price. Cool. Then it has another capability where we can then pull up some ancillary products like critical illness, accident, dental, so that we could then plug any holes that we feel these plans have, all on one platform. I love it. It's with Linked Exchange. You want to email me because we work very closely with them on the Altrua side. So I want to make sure that when you register, they know that we're working together so that Altrua enrollment comes free to you. But that, in terms of what is my protection, a lot of people are taking the paper app. We're also looking at having a phone verification. It's not happening right now, and I can't really give you an idea of when, but after the enrollment is in, having someone call, welcoming them to Altrua and saying, you know, just want to make sure you know what you have. It's a blankety blank. It's a Healthshare ministry. It's not guaranteed issue, and then it's all recorded. Again, the type of person that's going to be interested in a health share, it's a different person. It's a different mental capacity because it's completely a different philosophy. So my gut is it's the right person that's going to be attracted to these. Underwriting statuses. So on your agent portal, anything that the underwriters needs, they email it to the client as well as to the agent. Very straightforward, very easy. Why did I get into this market? This is like my favorite question. Why did I get into this market? Well, I'll tell you, I had a client last November who I had on ACA plans, and she'd gotten a rate increase. I'm like, don't worry about it. We're good. I've got other options, blah, blah, blah. Well, then some big carriers decided to pull out of the market, not pay commission, this, that, and everything else. I didn't have anybody for her. Her options were to spend $1,000 a month. It was her husband, and one kid. That's it, $1,000 a month. And even the $1,000 on the low end that would pop up on healthcare.gov showed a carrier here in Indiana that I knew our local hospital was not a part of. So even though their price was less expensive, there was no way I could enroll her because, you know, I would joke. I'm like, if you're in an ambulance, are you going to say, oh no, don't stop here, keep going, drive another 30 minutes, get to a hospital that's in my insurance? No. So she said, well, I'm going to look into some other things. I said, you do that, and I'm going to do some checking. And she came back because someone had suggested a health share. And I immediately threw my hands up like, that's crap, that's junk, that's not insurance, blah, blah, blah. Well, she bought it. And then I'm like, oh, dear God in heaven, I can't believe you did that. Well, then I started to look into specifically Altrua's. And the first thing that caught my attention was the like-mindedness, the fact that they were interested in folks who place a premium on their health and want to be with other people, want to be in a pool with people like that. And you know, there's no disrespect, or I'm not trying to be rude at all with anybody, because there's nothing saying that I couldn't wake up tomorrow and I'm now diagnosed with MS, or God forbid I get cancer. But overall, I really try to take good care of myself. So I was attracted to the fact of being put into a pool with other people like that. I never got the warm fuzzies being in Walmart and seeing and thinking to myself that, oh my God, as the guaranteed issue pool, I'm in with all these folks. And whatever they do is going to have an impact on my premium. I hated that. So that's how I got into this. It was a friend. And the more I started to dig, the more I started to look, the more I started to think I could totally buy into this. Because of my basic philosophies and principles of just dealing with my health. I didn't want a Bible thumper. I didn't want to have to be told I had to be a certain faith, whether I was that faith or not. I didn't like that because I have too many multi-faith friends and America is a melting pot, for God's sakes. We're not all vanilla in the United States. We're a whole rainbow of folks. So I didn't like that. So that's how I got into this market. Now, another big question I get is, what are the holes? All plans have holes. I don't care if you have an ACA plan. I don't care if you have factory direct plan from an insurance. They all will have a hole. It will just depend on, is the hole little or is the hole big? And then, what is my recommendation to fill the hole? So my next video is going to be on what do I think the holes are with this Healthshare ministry, and then what's my recommendation? Because I think that's important. Not everything is unicorns and rainbows. I'm very realistic. I'm going to tell you how it is, and then you can decide on whether or not it's a good fit. So look for my next video, which is going to be called Holes with Healthshare Ministries, and I'll talk to you later.